May God's peace, mercy and blessings be upon you. My name is Muhammad, new video and new story. But before starting, do not forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. Let's begin. Jinn Table. I am a young man from Sinai. It is said about me that I am an antichrist or a sorcerer. I use the jinn to do what I want. Everyone comes to me so that I can do what they want or to protect them from harm. Well, in fact, what you heard no, is not true. I am not a sorcerer, but rather a sorcerer. It can be said that I am a deceiver who lies. The fundamental question, why a magician and why a deceiver? The truth is that I have a talent for reading what is on the mind of the person sitting in front of me. For example, when a woman comes to me and asks me to make her husband treat her well, I ask her in return for some strange requests. These requests suggest that I am a magician so that this woman will believe that I am a magician and I have a son, the ability to help her. I ask her for a piece of paper and write some strange words on it and speak incomprehensible words. I also ask her to listen to her husband and not argue with him too much and to comply with what he says to her. From what I said, it must be noted that any woman who listens to her husband's conversation and does not try to anger him, her husband will be satisfied with her on his own accord. But in reality, those who come to me want to see me perform magic. But in reality, as I told you, I am a deceiver. One day, 3 men who appeared to be from the elders of one of the families or villages came to me. The elder man's name was Awad. This man told me his son has been touched by the jinn and he wants me to rid him of the jinn. The man offered me a huge sum of money if I could remove that jinni from his son's body. This type was my favorite type. I immediately took my bag that contained some tools and went with the 3 men to see Haj Awad's son. The house was very far away, so he arrived. It was dark and we were in the middle of the road. We were walking on an agricultural road that did not have any electricity. We could only see with the car headlight. Suddenly, while I was looking out the car window, I saw a man carrying a black cat. This is not the strange thing. The strange thing is that after a few seconds a man appeared in front of me. The car was unable to avoid it, so we collided with it. The car's path changed and we entered agriculture land. We ended up in the middle of the agriculture land and we collided with a large tree. Everyone got out of the car, but I was not able to move at all. I felt as if there was something crawling under the car. I looked at the door next to me and saw a blood-stained hand trying to open the door. I immediately tried. The door closed quickly, but that hand was very strong, so it took the door off its place and threw it afar into the air. A man appeared in front of me, covered in blood, his eyes red like blood. This man pounced on my neck and almost killed me. Immediately, the 3 men panicked, saved me and were able, with great difficulty, to restrain him, the crazy man, into the tree. This blooded man was saying incomprehensible words. Haj Awad told me that this man's condition was similar to his son's condition. He also asked me to remove the jinni from this man's body and in return I would get more money. I had no other choice. I relied on some information, which I read from books about magic, in addition to the fact that I took out from my bag a voice made of wolf skin. I had heard that the jinn are afraid of wolves, and I started talking that crazy man. My situation was very bad, as the man was bleeding more and did not appear to have any strange signs. I remembered that there was a spell I read from the book Shams al-Marif. This spell expels the jinn from the human body. As soon as this spell was cast, the man spoke in a frightening voice, saying, "I will not leave you, son of Adam. I will not leave you, son of Adam." Then thick black smoke came out of the crazy man's mouth. The sight was frightening, So everyone started running out of extreme fear. As for me, I remained in place, not knowing what to do. This black smoke headed toward me and penetrated me, causing me to fall to the ground immediately. Then I woke up and found myself in a hospital. I sat in the hospital until I regained my health and returned home. I decided to stop what I was doing completely after what happened. It happened to me on the trip. I collected all my belongings and magic books and put them in one of the hold rooms. After several days, while I was sleeping at night, I heard the sound of a black cat screaming in front of my house. I tried to push it away, but it was looking at me with looks full of hatred, as if I had hurt it badly. The next day, I went to the store to buy some things. I saw the same cat in front of me, but this time the cat attacked me and injured me my face fell to the ground and I was screaming in intense pain. Then I heard the voice of the store worker saying, "Are you okay?" I opened my eyes and found my face free of wounds. What I saw next terrified me. The cat was in front of me and no one else could see it, to the point that it was walking and penetrating people's bodies as if it were a show that did not exist. I decided to travel to relax my nerves a little, and on the first night in the hotel I woke up at night and found that there was a huge creature wearing a black cloak and in his hand a large sword standing above my head. Suddenly this terrifying creature raised its sword and I thought he was going to kill me, but he pointed the sword towards my head and stopped it. I screamed loudly. I heard my voice and the workers at the hotel entered my room. Well, just like what happened with the black cat, I was the only one who could see that creature. I returned to my house and this creature kept appearing to me for 13 days, just like that cat that kept appearing to me for 30 days. This creature disappeared, another being appeared, and this time the thing that appeared to me was death. Death was embodied in the form of a skeleton with a large scythe, and like the cat and the frightening creature, this skeleton continued to appear to me for 13 days, but before the last day was over, a suspicious thing happened. He knocked on the door strongly. I went to see who was knocking, and it was Haj Awad. He told me that they were with us on our trip and had died, and he felt that the genie, who was in the body of that crazy man, who was called Hafiz, was trying to take revenge on us. Haj Awad suggested that we go to Hafiz and see what we would do. Suddenly Haj Awad started screaming. Haj Awad saw the skeleton behind me. He fell. Haj Awad was on the ground, and the skeleton turned into black smoke and penetrated Haj Awad's skull. Haj Awad woke up and we went to that man called Hafiz to see what we would do. While we were on the road, suddenly blood started coming out of Haj Awad, eye, nose and ear, and then Haj Awad died. Haj Awad had asked me that if he died during that trip, I would return his body to his children in his village. I went to the village of Haj Awad in fulfillment of his wish. But there was a shock. His children told me that their father, Haj Awad, had died a month ago. I had no choice but to go Hafiz's house, hoping to find a satisfactory answer. Hafiz received me warmly, as I was the one who brought the genie out of the house. His body told me that it works to break magic, get rid of harmful jinn and so on. While Hafiz was trying to get rid of a genie that was in the body of a young girl, this genie came out of the girl and settled in Hafiz's body. This genie is a red genie and is very strong and cannot be eliminated. Hafiz told me that although it is difficult to get rid of the red genie, there is a way it can be followed. Hafiz continued his speech, saying at the end of the lunar year, the leader of the jinn, whose name is Azazel, holds a large feast. This feast will be attended by the terrifying genie. I will give you a magical black cloak that will hide you among the jinn, and when you approach the genie, put salt on him. The location of the feast is in one of the nearby cemeteries. There were only 2 days left until the feast. I prepared well, and when the time came, Rebecca, Hafiz, went to that cemetery. The grave was made of black stone. We started smashing some stones in order to allow me to enter. I noticed that there was a tattoo in the shape of a skull on the top of Hafiz's shoulder. I was able to enter the tomb. I saw in front of me a frightening and dark corridor. I walked in the corridor until I reached the end. There was a hall containing all the jinn kings. With Azazel their head, I approached the red giant and put salt on him. Suddenly all the jinn kings gathered and surrounded me. I know what's going on. Yabaya is supposed to prevent the jinn from seeing me. I discovered that Hafiz is that servant and follower of the jinn, and he was the one who brought me here because the red genie asked him to bring an offering Azazel every year. It seems that I will become the meal that the jinn kings will eat. I took out the whip made of wolf skin. The jinn were afraid of me and moved back a little. I took the opportunity and ran out of the cemetery. The jinn kings followed me, so I put the clock on Hafiz and threw him into the corridor. The jinn kings took him, and then I heard the sound of Hafiz's screams. I returned to my house and I was very tired. I heard the sound coming from the bathroom. I went to find out what was there and found a plate with a piece of meat on it, a tattoo in the shape of a skull. Then I knew that this was my share of Hafiz, and along with the meat there was human skin with the words, Azazel invites you to a feast next year. Today's story has ended. I hope you have been horrified. Do not forget to pray for the Prophet Muhammad. May God bless him and grant him peace. Subscribe to the channel, like the video and share your opinions in the comments. Peace, mercy, and blessings of God be upon you.